Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Mitchell. Hey, in today's video, I'm going to talk about the power of time. Let her come to you. So this is going to be a video on like dating with women. I'm going to talk about 3 different stages. So that way, if you're a guy that fits any of these categories and you're trying to date women, this will apply to you. So the first one's going to be if you're trying to go on dates with girls. The second one's in the middle if like you're going on dates and you're wanting to get into a relationship. And then the third one is where we don't want to be. That's if you're broken up with, okay? I need you guys to understand that we want to let women come to you at their own pace, all right? I've always said this, women fall in love a lot slower than men do, okay? So with men, when we want something, we want to go and do something to get it right now. We don't like waiting, all right? We can tend to think that, if we meet a girl, we go on a date with a girl, we're like, hell yeah, I want to be with you for the rest of my life. Women have to feel their feelings over a period of time, which we will never understand. And so they will never comprehend how we're able to make decisions like that so fast, okay? So in this video then, the thing that I need you to understand is that something that's very common with men, I would say people in general. So there's this thing called the illusion of action, and this is more prevalent for men. But that's when stage 2, if we're dating girls and we want to get in a relationship with them, if they start pulling away and we don't hear from them for whatever reason, maybe there's another guy, maybe they got busy, maybe they're just no longer interested in you, it doesn't matter. We might do stuff like we might think, oh my god, well, I haven't heard from her in a couple of days, like what the fuck's going on? We might try to like text her or call her or do something to try to get her attention, okay? That's very bad. And then the other one, if you're broken up with, the girl's already pushed you away. Well, the illusion of action there would be like begging, pleading, and then continuing to chase when she's like, dude, I don't want to be with you anymore, okay? So let's go ahead and start from stage 1 then. So if you are in the phase right now of where you are trying to go out, get phone numbers or set dates and go on dates with girls, I need you to understand this is a numbers game, okay? So at the time of filming this video, I'm in this situation where I'm just going out, getting numbers and dating. Now, what I mean by it's a numbers game is you're going to get phone numbers. So women will, like a lot of women, they don't want to hurt your feelings. So if you're not if you ask a girl for her phone number and you think she likes you, that's great. She gave you her phone number, that's awesome. But I can tell you from experience that just because she gave you her phone number does not mean she's going to talk to you when you choose to reach out, all right? So women use voicemails or text messages or their phone to kind of like screen people out. Sorry. So that's kind of like they will ghost you or they just won't get back to you, okay? So just know that when you're going out and meeting new women, even if it seems like she really likes you when you get her phone number, you're never going to know until you actually reach out and text her or call her or try to set a date with her, okay? So you're going to hear no a lot more than you're going to hear yes. Like you're going to hear no a significant amount of the time. But all it takes is just one girl to say yes for you to start dating and get into a really good relationship. So in this case right here of the hunting phase, if you will, time is on your side in this case because the more girls you approach and you're going to keep getting told no, time is going to pass, and eventually you're going to meet this girl that's going to say yes to you at some point in time. So it's very hard, like it kind of hurts where like you might reach out to like 15, 20 different girls and you might not hear from them or they might not want to go on dates with you. But you're like, well, they gave me their number and they were super cool. They seemed like they were talking to me. But remember, girls don't want to hurt your feelings and they will use the phone to like ignore you. Plus, girls are very sporadic, so they might ignore you now and then show back up like a month later. But we never really know. So in this case, and I need you to understand that if you keep getting rejected, that might weigh you down. But I promise you, brother, I promise you, man, you got to keep going. You got to keep talking to girls because like I said, at some point in time, you're eventually going to run into a girl that's going to want to be with you. And we want to be with women that are like, fuck yeah, I want to hang out with you. So in the dating, like in the hunting phase, well, you got to keep putting yourself out there and you got to keep meeting these girls. And then eventually, you're going to find somebody, okay? Now, number two then, so number two is if you're already going on dates, so you might have one girl or maybe have a couple different girls. So if you have a couple, that's good because you've got options. But if you're going on dates with women, a lot of them, again, a lot of them might not get, like, they might not want to go on a second date with you or a third date. So in this case, you're going to have to keep going on dates with girls until you get the very small number of women that will go on date 2 and then date 3 and then eventually sleep with you. And if it keeps going on, eventually want to be in a relationship with you, okay? So in this case, when time is on your side here because girls fall in love slower than men do. So I have a video where I taught men that, but this is, excuse me, an energy drink, where I taught men that we don't want to be the guy that says I love you first, that talks about a relationship or moving in or marriage or kids. I've done this stuff in the past, and that's not a very masculine thing to do. Now, I justified this in that video by saying I grew up without a dad, so I was around my mom the whole time. So I had to teach myself over time how to be a man. And I'm telling you right now, dude, let the woman's job, like a woman is supposed to be the one that brings up relationships and I love you and marriage and whatnot, okay? That is not a manly thing to do to bring that up. So please listen to me. Do not be the one to bring that up. So since women fall in love a lot slower, if we let the woman over time, so if we keep dating this girl every week and we're hooking up with her, which is what we want, like hell yeah, like I'm having sex with this girl and we keep going on dates and it's a good time, over the more dates you go on, when she starts feeling more and more and more for you, and this is going to take a couple weeks, that time is what's going to allow her to say, hey, you know, what are we? Or, hey, how do you feel about like being, monogamous? Or, hey, I hope you're not, I hope you're not like talking to other girls at this point in time because I stopped talking to other guys. And then you would simply ask her, oh, hey, babe, what do you mean by that? What are you trying to say? Are you trying to be boyfriend, girlfriend, or what's going on, right? So in that case, then, in the middle right here, you don't want to rush things because if you're the guy that brings it up first, like, hey, you know, I want to get into a relationship with you. What do you think? You're kind of forcing a decision on her, and if you force a decision on a woman, that's going to make her very uncomfortable, and she's going to push you away. Okay, you got to think about women are like cats. So if you have a cat, or I used to live with 5 of them. So if you ever call a cat, the cats could be like, no, piss off. I'm going to come to you whenever you sit on that couch, and then when I want to come to you. But women are the same way. So if you like try to call a girl like, hey, I want to be in a relationship with you, she's going to be like, whoa, buddy, I'm not there yet. I need time and space, or I just want to be friends, or I'm not ready for a relationship. All right? So that just means that she's not ready for a relationship with you. But if you keep dating, if you just focus on taking her out and then hooking up at the end of the night, if she wants to, eventually, the more dates you go on, if you really like this girl, she will bring up the relationship. And then if you start dating her, if you're in a relationship with her, eventually she's going to say, hey, you know, we don't live together. Maybe I'm going to keep bringing my shit over, and then eventually I'm going to move in with you because that's kind of what just happens. And then eventually it's going to be like, hey, we've been dating for like 2 years, kind of like, what's next? All right. Now, the last one that I want to talk about as far as dating is on your power of time. It's going to be breakups. So obviously this is the point that no guy wants to get to, but we need to cover that. So depending on what happened in the relationship, I'm not going to sit here and say all ex-girlfriends come back because that's not the case. Flip a coin. They will or they won't. Now, obviously, there's different factors that could determine if they will or not. Like if you cheated on her, if you abused her, or if you hurt her in any way, there's a pretty good chance that she's not going to want to do that. Now, women break up with guys 70% of the time. So unfortunately, we are the ones that have to go through, for the most part, that state of like shock and that heartbreak, which is hurt. Or it hurts. And because of that, that's where the illusion of action comes in, because we're in pain and we want to get the girl back so we're no longer in pain. Because when you get broken up with, you actually go through like a state of like withdrawal. Like if you were addicted to like drugs and you go through a withdrawal, that's the same type of chemicals that the brain produces when your partner leaves you. So that's why breakups hurt so much, okay? Now in this case then, the best approach right here, The more breakups you've gone through and the more you educate yourself on relationships. And so if you're watching this video, chances are that either something bad happened or you're kind of trying to figure out like the dating and relationship scene. If you get broken up with, instead of freaking out, just tell the girl, hey, look, I don't agree with this. I think we're awesome together. I would love to be with you. This is something we probably could have worked out together. You know what? But I'm not interested in being your friend. It's either romance and sex or like we really have no reason to speak ever again. So if you change your mind in the future, give me a call. And if I'm still single, then maybe we can see where to go from there. All right? So that's like a little bit of a role play. You don't have to say that word for word, but you do want to say like, hey, I'm not interested in being your friend. If you change your mind, give me a call. All right? Because we just want to let the girl know that I get you changed the terms of our relationship, and that's not cool with me. If we're not dating, you're never going to speak to me again. So in this case, how time is on your side, depending on the woman, again, depending on the relationship, the amount of time that goes by, if it wasn't like a bad breakup, like if you didn't do anything wrong, like if maybe you just showed like unattractive behaviors, like over pursuing or being needy, stuff that I've done that I teach guys not to do. Okay, if you do that, then yeah, there's a pretty good chance that at some point in time, if the grass ain't greener, bro, she might want to revisit that. But if you're over here like fucking her best friend and she finds out, this girl might never ever want to talk to you again. And I wouldn't blame her. So with that, then you piece of garbage, let's go ahead and talk about here. So time here, this is different for everybody. And obviously when we're going through breakup, like we want things to get fixed now. But I can tell you from experience, but it typically won't happen for like months on end. I knew a guy, a buddy of mine, his girl broke up with him. And she never came back. He was good. He's a good guy. She came back 5 months later. And then if you go and read comments on like Get Your Ex Back videos, you'll see anywhere from like 2 weeks, a month, 40 days, 60 days, 7 months. One of the videos I heard, it was like 30 years. That's nuts. But what I'm trying to say here is like, so when you get broken up with, all right, we are on basically look at that. So if this is the breakup, they're in the acceptance phase. We are now in the denial phase. Well, over time, the dynamic will shift, okay? Because you are experiencing the loss of a loved one right now. They're choosing to leave you. But when you disappear and you start moving on, which I get that's not what we want to hear, but that's what you need to do in the first place, because the most self-respecting and self-loving thing you can do is never chase somebody that doesn't want to be with you, okay? So by going out and finding a replacement over time for this girl, once you've healed and you're ready to do that, all right, then you're going to see, they're going to start being like, yo, like, where have you been? And then they're going to be like, oh my God, am I losing them? And then the dynamic's going to flip. Like I said, it doesn't happen all the time, but that's typically what happens for like most people. I think there's statistics that say 50% of people will hear from their ex again. And then one of the guys I watch, Coach Craig Kenneth, says it's even more than that, because a lot of these people that do hear from their ex again, they don't like record that, okay? So in that case, all you have to do is literally stop talking to them and move on with your life. So you're literally doing nothing but living your life and no longer talking to them. And time, the more time that goes by, which is not what we want, but unfortunately that's the only solution right now, the more time that goes on, they're gonna, if they still love you and miss you, they're gonna want to come back. Okay? And if they don't, well, that just shows you what kind of relationship you really had, what kind of person you were really with. So you have to look at it like that. So if you get broken up with, okay, that's your fault. That's not your fault, but that's your loss for wanting to break up with me. So at that point in time, so the more time goes on, you're going to look to replace this girl and find somebody better. And if they want to come back, well, they need to work to get you back. You have to have that mindset of, hey, I know I'm worth it. I get I did some unattractive behavior in the past. I didn't know what I didn't know. But you know what? I'm sure if we would have communicated that we could have fixed that. And unfortunately, you just gave up. So I'm going to go look for somebody else that wants to be with me. I want to spend time with somebody that wants to spend time with me. So if that girl comes back, she has to work to get you back. That's just the only self-respecting and self-loving thing to do. All right? So right there, that's going to be all three not videos, but all three sections. So this is how time plays in your favor at every aspect of dating. Now, in certain situations, time might not be in your favor, but in dating, so that could be like in business, right? with like trying to get clients or whatnot. But in dating, typically we want to let the woman come to you. That's why if you're a no contact, I don't ever say that you should never reach out to that girl first. But if she reaches out to you, assume she wants to see you and then try to set a date. And that will start the process on if she's actually coming back because she misses you, or depending on your girlfriend, if she's looking for validation or if she wants to keep you as a backup option. And in that case, then if she doesn't set a date with you, then you need to hit her with the takeaway close. Which is going to be like, hey, I told you I'm not interested in being friends, so when you figure out your schedule and you want to hang out, let me know and maybe we can plan something then. So right there, you're telling her, I ain't your backup, buddy. That's not happening, pal. We're either hanging out, drinking a bunch of wine, having fun and hooking up, or you ain't coming over, all right? All right, so that's the video, guys. Hope you like this. Listen, if you're a guy that wants to get better at dating or just learning how to maintain a long-term relationship with the love of your life, my new book is finally released, so you're going to see a link in the description. Click that link. It's going to take you to a page where I have a video set up that's going to explain how this book will help you in every stage of dating and relationships. And then also, if you want to work with me with one-on-one coaching and kind of fast track where your life is going at this point in time, if you see a link down below, my coaching options, or not my time, I should say, is finally available for you guys. So if you're looking to work on personal development, confidence, just your mindset of living in abundance, or maybe it could be anything personal or career or business-wise, so go ahead, plan a time to talk with me. Check out the video on the next page. It'll show you how I'm going to help you. And if you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. And then, hey, I'll talk to you guys next time.